Now, unless you've been living under a rock for the past week, you might be aware of the new UK Online Protection Safety Act, which is here to protect the children. And on the surface level, it seems like a really good thing. The government wants to go out there and conquer all of these 18+ websites. They want to make sure that no one's accidentally stumbling across onto them by putting a big age verification on the websites. However, people definitely aren't a fan of this bad boy because already 430,000 people have signed the petition to say, hey, we need a redebate on this. And if I'm being entirely honest, I think it does need to be rediscussed, because the entire idea of this protection safety online thing, yes, there may be a good incentive behind it, but it is such a messy, sloppy situation because it's kind of hard to distinguish, okay, what is alright for people to enter and what do people need to ID themselves for. Like, if I'm being entirely honest, if you want to go out there, you want to hit that little bit of jackhammer, choke your chicken, I think maybe putting your ID on some of those websites is fair, because it's extremely easy to just accidentally stumble across that when you're not of that age. And in a way, we can compare those websites to perhaps gambling sites where you have to put your ID in already. So I think if we are talking about sites individually, I think that's perfectly fine. However, if we are discussing just roaming the internet on the other hand, that's a whole new problem. And by the looks of it, a whole lot of other people seem to agree with that too, because the VPN download rate in the UK has shot up like a flying bird. On the very first day of this law being released and all the websites being blocked and you now needing to have ID verification on them, VPN apps hit #1 on the App Store in the UK. That is absolutely phenomenal. However, if you did think you were being smart trying to get around it, no, unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case, because UK is now considering banning VPNs. If this doesn't scream, okay, it's the end of the world, we're in this dystopian era now, I don't know what will. This is so uncanny. Like, as I've already mentioned, I think it's perfectly fine if you want to make sure that people have to ID to get on porn websites. I think that's a good idea. However, it only works if it's the site individually, not the internet as a whole. Like, currently if you're in the UK, even if you're scrolling through Twitter, some posts will just be randomly blocked because the UK deems them to be dangerous. And I really hate to say it, but this is starting to sound a little bit like North Korea. Kim Jong-un stepped into the arena and he said, hey UK, you guys have got to sort yourselves out. However, once again, it's not only Twitter which are seeing these bans. We've got Reddit as well. If you want to go on Reddit at the moment, maybe you're 16 and you want to stop smoking. Nope, you can't enter that Reddit at the moment because you don't have an ID over 18. Like, it is so unbelievably pathetic how this system has been set up. I'm going to go out there and rip the band-aid off. I really wouldn't be surprised if they used AI to work on this, because it is such a bunch of fish paste. The fact that you have to actually put your ID on Twitter if you want to see certain posts, my mind is genuinely blown at that. I never thought we were going to enter a realm like this. I didn't think it was ever going to be a real thing, but I am experiencing it in real time right now in the UK. And thankfully, I'm not massively affected by it. Like, I haven't gone on Twitter yet and been blocked by anything, neither on Reddit. But if I did want to go out of my way and find some things to get blocked, I could do it within about 30 seconds. It's super easy to fall into it. And although, as I mentioned earlier, I think as a surface level, this is a decent idea. Making sure that certain websites need IDs, I think that's good. However, the main thing that I don't like about this thing is it opens up such a gateway for other things as well. Like, now within about a year's time, if you play Xbox, forget about that, buddy. If you don't have an 18+ ID, you're not going to be able to access over half of their services. The good old days of getting your parents to buy the new COD because you're not 18 are completely over now, because you won't be able to play it unless you have an 18+ ID. And if you thought that was bad, nope, hold your horses, because it does somehow get worse. If you don't have an 18+ ID connect to your Xbox account, you won't be able to just randomly talk to people in game chat anymore. I really hate to be that guy, but this is starting to sound a whole lot like censorship. And if you do go on Twitter right now as a fellow British person, you might find that it's not just 18+ posts that are blocked. It's also posts that are deemed as potentially dangerous, potentially harmful. And I think, as everybody on the planet knows, if you've ever scrolled through YouTube Shorts, for example, and have come across a Family Guy clip, well over half of those gets deemed as dangerous because of the amount of jokes that they make. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking right now, oh, I haven't stumbled across this yet. What does it actually look like when you try and do it? Well, if you go on a website at the moment, or if you try and view a post which is deemed dangerous or 18+, you'll get one of two options. You can either upload a picture of your ID, it can be your passport, driver's license, anything that shows that it's real, or you can do another thing where they scan your face. So they either want your ID or they want your biometrics. And obviously, if we're looking at the biometrics, there are so many easy ways to get around this. Children are using video game characters to access websites which they shouldn't be. What is the point in this, UK? Like, what is going on here? This system is so poorly set up that you can just throw a picture of Ragnarok up there and you're going to easily get in. And unfortunately, by the looks of it, the US isn't going to be safe either, because they're now discussing this topic too. They are considering this Kids Online Safety Act. So yeah, if you're based in the US, I am truly sorry for what my country has started, but I can't control it. We're all falling to shit now. Before you know it, if you want to access the internet, you want to watch a YouTube video, you got to put in your online passport. This is such a dangerous gateway to tracking absolutely everything online. And I know there's a lot of arguments at the moment, people saying, oh, but everything's already tracked. You have incognito, you have private search for a reason, so you don't have to get tracked. However, now if you want access to a website or a post which is 18 plus or deemed dangerous, you can't do it on private search or incognito anymore. You have to do it on a public one because you need to be able to upload your ID to access a site. It is just a whole full circle moment. This whole act is just a bunch of shit. They say they want to protect the children, bar fucking humbug. That's definitely not the case. It's just them opening the door to get even more data on everyone. And I know I sound like I got a tinfoil hat on right now. As somebody that is based in the UK right now, I am seeing this with my very own eyes. I feel like I'm watching COVID happen again. It's absolutely bonkers. And I really hate to be that guy going out there saying, oh, it's 2012, it's the end of the world, everybody panic, hug your loved ones. I really do think in about 5 years time, the only way you're going to be able to access the internet is if you just upload some sort of ID, and there's not going to be any more private search. You're going to be able to be tracked every single trace of the corner of the internet. And if I'm being entirely honest, I absolutely hate that. And if you don't, I'm extremely worried for you. There's absolutely no world where this turns into a good thing or is even a good thing in the first place. But yeah, I just wanted to ramble on about this for a little bit as I'm based in the UK at the moment and people have asked me a couple times about it. I absolutely hate it. I despise it. And I really don't want to hear the basis argument of, oh, you just put your ID in and it's not saved. Of course it's saved. So yeah, I think it's time we go down to the ramen shop and get our noodles working because otherwise we are going to be absolutely cooked. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.